You're on. There you go.
Good afternoon. My name is Mark Ossie. I'm the Deputy Emergency Manager for Lincoln, Lancaster County. I want to give you guys an update on the weather situation we're going to be experiencing over the next couple of days. We had a National Weather Service conference call at 11:45 this morning. What they informed us of is that Lancaster County is under a flood watch from 1 a.m. Wednesday through to 7 p.m. Thursday afternoon. In addition to that, there will be a high wind watch Thursday, the 14th, from 7 a.m. till 7 p.m. We should have persistent rain late today through to late Wednesday afternoon into Thursday morning. Total precipitation amounts 1 to 2 inches. With that, the winds may increase significantly. We can anticipate northwest winds 30 to 40 mile an hour with gusts up to 60 miles per hour. From that, I'll hand it over to Pam Dingman.
Good afternoon. I'm Pam Dingman, Lancaster County engineer. What we're really facing this spring is we had about a month in December of rain. The ground got really good and saturated. It froze. Then we have 50 inches of snow on top of that. And now we have rain and frost that's coming out of the ground. So it's really the worst case scenario for engineers and public utility departments. What we've done to prep for this storm is we have purchased additional large rock that was available in the area. We have also acquired additional barricades so that we can close roads as we need to. And we have spent the last couple of days in cooperation with Transportation and Utilities making sandbags should they be needed. One of the problems that we've had with this storm and this extended weather period is at one point this morning we were down to where only 11 trucks in our fleet were running. We've ran these trucks hard for a long time. They're very old and they're just not standing up to the conditions that exist out there. We have gotten 3 more of those back on the road this afternoon, so we're at 14 trucks, which we wish we were at 18, and we're going to keep trying to get to that number, but that's what we have for hauling rock right now. We also have been out removing snow from the ditches with backhoes and trucks so that we can have some clear water paths. In addition to that, we have a lot of concerns right now about our scour critical bridges. We currently only have one piece of Southwest 42nd Street and Olive Creek closed because it is currently underwater, although we have had a few other areas intermittently today that have had water over the road. We'd like to remind you to please don't drive through the water. The conditions are very muddy. There's not a lot we can do about it other than get rock out. We believe that conditions could get worse in the next couple days. If you have a complaint, we would like to ask that you call it in to our main number, 402-441-7681, so that we can log your complaint and give you a ticket number so that we can follow up on it. In addition to that, as we close or need to close roads, on the city's website, under search, if you type in closure, there is a Google map that shows all closures up to date and why the road is closed. And we do keep that up to date in emergency events. And so with that, I will go ahead and pass on the mic to the Sheriff's Office.
Captain Josh Clarke, Lancaster County Sheriff's Office. The Sheriff's Office would just remind people to be very careful in these conditions. If we do see flooding, any water that is seen going across the roads, we would ask not to enter it. 6 inches of water is all it takes to sweep away a person. Approximately 1 foot to 2 feet of water can sweep away an entire vehicle. So when in doubt, if you see water coming over a roadway, please turn around and go the other way. Please also pay attention to any barricades, not going through barricades. Those are there for a reason, and we will try to get those roads open as quickly as possible. Obviously, if anyone finds themselves in an emergency situation, we would ask them to call 911. However, if it's a non-emergency type of situation where maybe there's vehicles that are left abandoned on the side of the roadways or other examples like that, to please call our non-emergency number, which would be 402-441-6000. And then, like Pam said, if there's any questions about roadways, to contact their office. With that, I'll turn it over to the city, the Transportation Division.
Good afternoon. My name is Donna Garden. I'm the Assistant Director of Lincoln Transportation Utilities. I'm primarily in charge of the utilities here in the city of Lincoln. And I want to come in front of you today, let you know that we are prepared for this storm and have been doing preparation work for a long time. And maintaining the safety and the quality and dependable utility services is our primary goal. I want to talk about two specific utilities, water and wastewater today. Starting with water. Our primary focus there is the flooding conditions along the Platte River. This includes the flooding potential from ice jams in the river, which cause additional flooding. We've been monitoring this for a long time, and in fact, we're trying to get as much from our previous experience to determine what's going to happen this year, but frankly, we really don't know. We're looking at a variety of things. But I want to make it very clear that our water production facilities are very resilient. We have well fields on the west side of the Platte, we have well fields on the island in the Platte, and we have our wells on the east side of the Platte. We also have a number of transmission lines, all of which are interchangeable, and 2 production or treatment facilities at Ashland. And we can adjust accordingly, so what the river does, we can certainly handle. We're going to take all the precautionary measures we need and make sure we utilize those wells that are outside of the flooded area. We also have rented additional track tire type equipment so that if we need to get to the wells and take away debris or whatever, we have it available and it's on site at Ashland. And we have our staff is there 24 hours anyway. We have additional staff there available during this event. But if you do see any change in or disruption in your quality of service during this flood watch, please give us a call. Our number is 402-441-7571. I want to also talk about wastewater system. That has made the news in the past in terms of water from rain events like this actually getting into our collection system. But our primary focus right now is to make sure that our equipment and our treatment plant is ready to go, which it is. We've also lowered the water level in our collection system so that we have lots of capacity for any rain that would infiltrate. And we've been monitoring the forecast, so we are very, very much active and ready to and prepared for this storm. We have noticed something very interesting this last weekend, though. As things have started to melt a little bit, we've noticed that people's sump pumps are coming on. I heard mine come on. I had other staff say that theirs were coming on, too. And when we looked at the wastewater flows at the facility, we actually saw a 5 million gallon a day change in how much water we were receiving. That's 5 million gallons out of a 30 million gallon rate that we have right now. So we're asking everybody in the city of Lincoln to take a look at where their sump pumps discharge. Make sure those discharge points are to the outside of your house, not into the sanitary sewer that is in your house. And basically during this heightened chance of flooding, we want to make sure we have as much capacity as we can have in the system, and we don't need sump pump discharge water that's basically clean water in the sanitary sewer. So we've doubled staff at Teresa Street. We'll be ready to monitor any conditions that occur, and if you have any incidents or any problems, the number for wastewater is 402-441-7961. And with that, I thank you, and I'll let Lani talk about the street side of Lincoln.
Good afternoon, Lani Birkland, Assistant Director of Transportation. I want to update you on a few streets items. I guess first off, in the Transportation Division, of course, our first priority is safety for all modes of transportation during these types of flooding events. We typically adopt kind of a 3-pronged approach for these situations. We're doing some proactive monitoring, we're adjusting staffing and preparing our equipment and contracts, and we're also looking at quick response to any of the developing conditions that are deemed unsafe. Our maintenance operations team has a robust weather monitoring program, those subscription software services, and we're always staying up to date and monitoring those as well for any changes. Along with that, we of course are in constant communications with both emergency management and the county. We do a lot of comparing of notes. It's a pretty good working team atmosphere that we have with those parties, so that's great, and we really use that to kind of update forecasts and our response operations and share resources if need be. In fact, I think Pam in the county has been using some of our automated sandbag filling machines. Hopefully that's been working. So yeah, we're in constant contact with those groups, and that's pretty awesome communications that we have. We have boosted overnight on-call staffing. We're looking at some folks in our traffic management center overnight, and with our maintenance operations division, really to keep monitoring some of those hot spots, those typical low-lying areas where we do see some street and roadway overtopping. We're going to be performing central coordination through there with any of the street closures with the EOC, and respond to any barricading needs that should arise. And we'll just generally be looking at managing traffic around any utility repair work that's required as well. So we've got additional staff and contractors on standby as need be for the event. Just really wish and urge everybody to kind of please heed the advice of all of these safety professionals that are here today. If a street does appear covered in water, please don't drive through it. May look like it's 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches, could be much more. So might find yourself in a hydroplane situation, and we want to avoid that. So we'll be proactively monitoring to get barricades and things out ahead of those. But if you see standing water, please avoid those situations. And if you're driving in these conditions, please give our emergency responders and workers in the streets plenty of room to navigate. We're just there to help out. So appreciate everybody's time today. That's the updates we have.
And Black Hills Energy is also here, and so if you guys would like to talk about your concerns with flooding, that would be awesome.
Thanks, ma'am. Good afternoon. I'm Brandi Johnson with Black Hills Energy. I'm a community affairs manager here in Lincoln. And Black Hills Energy is ready to respond to any flooding situations that may affect our natural gas customers within the city. So we are actively monitoring our above ground natural gas facilities, as well as encouraging our customers, if floodwaters are threatening their homes or businesses and they need to evacuate, to please call us immediately so that we can discontinue their natural gas service. Floodwaters do present a danger of natural gas leaks, as they may distinguish pilot lights for furnaces or water heaters and create an unsafe situation. And so we would like our customers to not attempt to turn off their natural gas service themselves. They need to call our 24-hour emergency phone line, which is 1-800-694-8989. If they are evacuating, and let us know about it. And then as a reminder, we want to remind our customers that natural gas does smell like rotten eggs, and so if you do smell that distinctive smell, you need to leave the area immediately and then call 911 or call us so that we can come out and make the situation safe.
Thank you. And I believe we also had a representative from LPD today.
Captain Todd Kutzian with the Lincoln Police Department, and just to mirror what's already been said, just want to remind everybody out there to be mindful of the changing conditions over the next couple days. So as what's been stated before, if you see water on the roadway, please do not drive through it. It takes as little as 12 inches of water to sweep your car away. This can also cause your car to stall and leave you stranded in the water. Be mindful of the barricades should you encounter them. They're there for your safety, so please don't drive around them. And if you encounter emergency, as always, please contact 911. Our non-emergency number is 402-441-6000, and all other calls can be routed to that number.
Thank you. And I believe in closing, Commissioner Roma Amundson had a few words to say.
Thank you, Pam. Actually, with this, as I really want to say, give a big shout out to the city and to the county people who are working to keep people safe. Really wanted to say, though, as county commissioner, I am aware of what the conditions of the roads and the bridges are, not only through what I hear, but also through what I experience as I drive on both the city roads as well, the city streets as well as the county roads. And you know, actually, nature has not been kind to us this year. However, I do know that the employees of both city and county have been working hard to ensure the safety of the citizens. And specifically, in regard to the county roads, please remember to drive very carefully on those. They are muddy, but you know, snow does melt, and that does impact the roads. And as snow melts, and with the additional rain coming in, we will be experiencing some potential floods. And again, so many times we've said this, if a bridge is blocked off, please do not go around the blockade. So, As County Commissioner and on behalf of the County Board of Commissioners, I would specifically like to thank the Engineering Department, all of their employees for the many long hours that they have put out, that they have done in keeping the county roads safe and ensuring that kids can drive to school, that the buses can go, that people can come in and do their business duties here in the city, and that emergency vehicles can also go on those roads too. So thank you for everything that you are doing, both city and county. It's appreciated very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Amundson. And so now, are there any questions? Sure.
Just about snow and ice buildup, maybe on storm drains. Is there anything specifically going to be done about that, or do you have advice for citizens who might have a problem with it pooling and having nowhere to go?
So I guess that is a question for both Lani and I. In the county, what our concern is that these culverts, many of them were frozen. They were filled with frozen ice and mud. We actually have gotten a break with that. And in the last 24 to 48 hours, a lot of those culverts have melted and are once again passing water through the culvert. And so we are getting some relief out in the county that we were seeing water pond up. Now we're seeing it drain on. And so if you do see a lot of water ponded in the road, please let us know the location so that we can figure out what's going on with that culvert. And then I know that the city has a much different, with curb and gutter and pavement, much different solution than I have. So I'll let you talk about that, Lani.
Yeah, really probably kind of similar operation, just urban versus rural. And we have had a dedicated team out the last several days clearing out some of those storm drains and, again, some of our typical culprit spots, low-lying areas, just trying to get things out of the way for that water to flow away safely and get off the street surface. If folks are seeing some big backup and wet areas around, intersections or low spots, please, again, like Pam said, get a hold of us and we'll have those crews go take a look at it. We've also had some of our inspector group out driving around looking for some of those locations. So the warm temps and the melting is helping get some of that snow and ice out of the way of the storm drains, but it's also causing more water to flow to them. So.
Other questions?
What were some of the hot spots around town and around the county that you guys say that are currently flooded or you predict will be areas of concern?
So for Lancaster County, a few of our hot spots, Southwest 2nd Street, south of Highway 33, always ends up being a hot spot for us. Also Southwest 42nd Street, sadly pretty much for several miles in the southwest quadrant of the county is an area. Right now we're also concerned that Salt Creek at Roca is expected to crest sometime tomorrow at 21 feet. That's 1 foot above flood stage. That will mean really areas in the southern part of the county will be experiencing a lot of pressure. But we also have a lot of pressure in our system on the northern boundary of the county with Oak Creek and Rock Creek. And so Saunders County, a large part of it drains into Lancaster. And so we can be not experiencing any moisture in Lancaster and really have those creeks on the northern end of the county surging. I do expect that we'll have some minor flooding up in that area also. Lani?
Yeah, the few of the typical spots that we're always monitoring are out northeast by 84th and Havelock. That's a continual spot that tends to be one of the early ones. The North 48th Street underpass there, up near Cornhusker, and then in the southwest part of the community down where we really touch base with the county near around 27th and Saltillo. That's another one. We've got a few other locations down around Rokeby Road and some of those outlying locations, but Westo, a little bit over near Sun Valley, if you remember a few years ago. That takes a little more water in the system to cause problems there, but those are the typical spots where we're looking to deploy equipment early on and monitor, because if those start to get have increased levels, we know we've got some problems elsewhere.
Other questions for us today?
How many calls has the sheriff's and police department or anybody gotten for people who are stuck in water so far today?
I don't have a separation of that in that manner. I do know that after hours in particular, when we get calls, per our protocol, they go from the 911 center to our answering service, and then they denote that the call originally came in there. And so what we have in the last several days is we have taken over 150 complaint calls, which is a very large volume for us. And again, with only 11 trucks running this morning, that means that we weren't able to get through those complaints, sadly, very quickly. So
that's specifically for flooded roads?
That's for extremely muddy conditions and for water on the road, yes.
I have a question for Donna about the sump pumps. I mean, people are going to be turning off their sump pumps if they see that they're running into your system as opposed to the street.
No, you shouldn't turn them off. Definitely that would cause damage. But in terms of getting that out of the system for us in the long term, that would be preferential if you see it going into the sanitary sewer.
Is this illegal to pump it into the city system, and what, if anything, is the city doing about stopping people from doing that?
It is in city code that you cannot put clean water into the system, and I'd have to get you the actual reference on that, Nancy, on where that is. I think it's in the building and safety code. We actually have changed their the code there in order to, when a new house is built now, it's required to have a sump in it. It's not required to have a pump, and prior to those storms that we had in 14 and 15, it wasn't required to have anything else. But after that point, what action we did take was we changed it so that they were that when a new building is built, it is required to have the outlet piping as well. So when someone needs a pump and your sump is filling up with water, you have some place to connect it, and it's connected in the right spot.
Thank you, Donna. Other questions? Thank you. We will once again continue to ask the public for their patience in dealing with this extended weather event. We're hoping that we can get past this week, and I think we have 7 to 10 days of dry weather and the possibility for our staffs actually having a weekend, which I know they'll be looking forward to. Thank you.